Master Kai will teach all the techniques and katas required for beginners to third degree black belt. Master Kai is a member of the International Martial Arts Federation, known as EMOF. Before I begin to teach you the techniques of Okinawan Goju-ryu karate, I would like to show the proper way of bowing, which is of the utmost importance to show respect and proper manners. The most formal way of bowing is from the kneeling position, putting the left knee down first, then the right. Sitting back with the back straight on the insteps of the feet, bowing, placing your hands down, left hand first, then right, in a diamond shape. Come up formally, right knee out, then left leg up. Heels together, feet out 45 degrees. Now bowing from a standing position. Tilt the back and head forward straight. Do not drop the head, and your hands will go to the front over your thighs. The side view. This is the correct way of bowing, which should be done always before matches and training. Before I begin, I want to explain the three most important aspects of karate. Studying the right movement, how to use power, and how to get speed. These are important for doing proper techniques, but especially important when doing kata, which I will teach you later after the fundamentals. So please remember these three aspects: important, proper movements, use of power, and how to get speed. I will now begin to teach you the proper stances of Goju-ryu karate. I will start from a ready position, Heisoku dachi, feet together. Turning the toes out 90 degrees, go to Masubu dachi. Now open the heels, shoulders width apart, Heiko dachi. All the stances blend from one to the other. Please follow along with me.
続いてかかとを軸にしてつま先を開きます。
Now, Hachijidachi, turning your toes out. Again, 90 degrees.
八字立ちと名付けています。続いてつま先を軸にしてかかとを開きます。
Now, Uchi Hachijidachi. Feet beyond shoulders width, turning the toes in, bending the knees slightly. Then going to a horse stance, Shikodachi. Keeping your body weight 50% on each leg. Keep your back straight and the same level. From Shikodachi, we turn into Zenkutsudachi. Concentrating 60% of your weight on the front leg. Keep your rear leg in line with the front. Toes turned out, 45 degrees. Keep your back straight, head up. Back to Shikodachi. 前屈立ちから四股立ちに移ることです。続いてかかとを軸にしてつま先を内に戻します。 Now, Uchi Hachijidachi. We are just going in the reverse. Hachijidachi. Heikodachi.
さらに右足を左足に引き寄せるように右の方に楕円形を描いて一足長だけつま先を内にしたままの形で踏み出します。
Now I will teach you Sanchin Dachi. 50% of your weight is equal on each leg. Turn your toes in tightly, and at the same time, tighten the buttocks and thighs. There is a slight tension in this stance. Your heels are apart, shoulders width. Next is Niko Achidachi, or the cat stance. Again, keep your shoulders straight, head level. Concentrate your weight on your rear foot. Sit down on the rear foot as if you're sitting in a chair. The front leg is on the ball of the foot. Goju-ryu空手道の立ち方の全てではありませんが一部分を説明をいたしました。カットしてください。続いて先ほど説明をいたしました。Now I will explain how to move from stance to stance, how to move forward and back properly. Follow along. 手を使わずに足だけの運足の稽古。Starting in Heikodachi, we will move forward into Zenkutsudachi. Make a circular movement with your right foot. This circular movement will help protect your midsection and groin. If you stepped openly, you would be vulnerable to an attack. See the protection? And that's set in a strong Zenkutsudachi stance. The circular movement is applied to all stances. The same technique is used when going in reverse. Back to Heikodachi. Now step realistically, quickly.
て
Now I'm going to explain Sanshin Dachi movement.
三鎮立ちの場合も同じく内側に足をつけながら
Circular step.
横に張り出しつま
The
先を
most
内
important
に
thing is
こ
to
の
keep
場合
the
に
toes
十分
turned inward
体を上に締め上げて
and the buttocks and
お
thighs
尻は
tight.
上に
Apply some tension in this area.
上と下の力が下丹田で合うように訓練をしてまいります
To obtain the proper tightness, draw the groin up as you set
訓練をしていく中で
and push the stomach
特
down.
に指先一本一本においても十
We
分
need lots of
地面
time
を
to
吸い上げる
practice
ように
Sanshin Dachi.
力を上に吸い上げ上体の力を下に下ろし
It will be
そ
your
の一
most
点が
difficult
下丹田
stance
で
to
合うよう
master.
に訓練をしてまいります
Notice the body movement,
50の場合
The locking in,
この
as we
力
call
を
it.
非常に多く用います関係
drawing the groin up
大
to
変
tighten
難
the
しいことであ
buttocks
り
and
ます
legs.
から時間をかけて訓練をしていただきたい
This
と
is
思
a
います
very powerful stance, and it's very hard for someone to knock you down or push you back.
足の幅は常に肩幅であります
Now move smoothly and quickly. Set, lock. Set, tighten. Now the movement of the horse stance, or sheikodachi. This stance should be used as a defending stance. It will build tremendous leg strength because you concentrate all your weight down on the thighs. Now the proper technique is to have your knees bent deeply just over the ends of your toes. So your toes and knees should line up. Keep your upper body straight and head up. And when you advance forward, stay at one level. Imagine having a glass of water on your head. And you move so it doesn't spill. This is how level you should be. Use the circular motion to protect the groin and midsection. Now I would like to explain the basic punching techniques of Goju-ryu karate. Begin with your feet apart. Heikodachi stance. Like I said before, keep your feet shoulders width apart. Your weight distributed evenly on each leg. Now let's begin to make the proper fist. Holding your hands out in front, squeeze the fingers in tightly and place the thumb around the bottom of your four fingers. Bring the fist back to the rib cage, up near the armpit. Another technique is to hold the fist at the hip. This is usually from the Shirite Okinawan school. My system keeps the fist high. It really doesn't matter. You can do the one you prefer. The punch still has the same devastating power. But like I say, I will keep my hand high. This is my system of punching. When striking, punches are alternated to the solar plexus.
自分の体を基準にしてその高さを研究をしていきます。ですから単独動作の場合は
This is a very
自
basic
分
technique.
の体重を基準
but
に
very
すること
powerful.
が最も大事なことであります。
One punch to the chest or solar plexus can crush a man's heart.
もちろん大事なことですけども、十分に脇を締めて
Remember, you're always striking as if facing a mirror and hitting someone your size and your level.
全てのことを脇が開くことは
So punch out at your solar plex level or height.
同じであります。これを十分注意してください。次に突きと同時に腰の回転が最も大事な力を増加するため
When alternating punches, keep the punch close to the side of your
十
body
分腰が入って突きを入れる。
and punch out and inward as if someone were standing directly in front of you.
これが速くなりますと、突く力と腰の回
The
転
hip
が
movement is of
同
utmost
時に
importance.
入っていきます。
It gives you added power and
以上
speed.
が中段突きであります。
90% of your focus is generated at the last moment when your fist turns sharply.
鼻の下にあります
The turning should be upon impact.
ここが上段の基本に
Now the Jodan punch, or punch to the face, upper technique. Your target is to hit your man under the nose. Do not raise your shoulder. Keep your shoulders level and relaxed.
特に上段つく場合、肩が上に上がらないように肩は十分締めて
Again, concentrate on the attacker being directly in front of you. Punch straight out and in. If you punch straight out, you will miss the target. You must have an inward strike.
下段突きは
Now the Gidan punch, or down punch to the
九州
groin.
の名前で言いますと明星という位置を基本位置としてお
When
ります
punching down,
これ
do
も
not
大
look
事なの
down.
は直線
Keep
的
your
に
eyes
下
on
に
your
ねじ込むよう
opponent's
に
face
下に
area.
落とす脇をこすりながら十分下にねじり込んでついてもらいます
Strike him low into the groin or lower abdomen.
この場合特に注意しなければならないのは目の位置が下に向きやすいそこで目の位置は常に正眼の位置自分の目の高さをまっすぐに見つめてください
The low punch is an excellent technique because the attacker is just not ready for it. Most people feel they will be punched in the face. So think about striking low.
以上が空手道における最も大切な中段突き
These are the most
上段
important
突き
punches
下段突きであります
of Goju-ryu Karate Do.
その3つの攻撃技に対して3つの受け技がありますまず中段受け
Now the first block I will show
先
you
ほど説明しましたよう
is
に
Judan
潮が非
Uki
常
or
に
the
効いたもの
side block.
受けた位置は剣の高さが肩の高さそして曲げた姿勢
Now
が
when you use the arm to
約
block,
90度とされ
it
て
must be the same level as the
90
shoulder.
度の位置で持ってまいりますそして
Your fist should line up directly with your shoulder and your elbow is a fist away from your rib cage.
狭すぎてもいけない広すぎてもいけない
Do not have it too tight to the ribs or too far away. A fist away.
しっかりと固めておきます
You should be following as I'm teaching you.
この位置から右剣を
Notice how my arm lines up with the side of my body. Now as I block, I cross arms
目の高さぐらいのところから
and block to the other side.
かけるつもりで受けてまいります
You must always cross your arms for added
脇
protection.
を十分に締め込んで外に開かないように内に
Do
締
not
め
block
て
too far out to the side. Your block will be very weak and you'll miss the target.
なぜこのような円の動
The
きを
block
する
is
かと
done
言
in
い
a
ますと
circular motion.
強い力できた場合直線的な力は
Contact
必
is
ず
made
弱い方が負
with
け
the
ますの
side
で
of the forearm.
相手の力をいなすような心持ちでかけていくのがゴージュ
Again, notice my
特徴で
proper form. My fist is even with my shoulder. The movement is done circular and quickly.
続いて上段受けです
Now the upper block, or
上段
Jodan
受けは
Uki.
特に肩が上がりやすい受け技であります
Raise
か
your
ら
forearm
顔を十分締めて
Slightly above your head,
そして
keeping
目
your
を
shoulders down.
まっすぐに向けて腕の下から相手を 睨み据えることと
Twist your fist as you're
気迫を
blocking
十分
up.
用いなければなりません。同時に剣の位置は
Your fist should line up with the outside of your head.
十分受け込む位置で受けてください。こういうふうに
If you pull your arm too much to the
中にな
outside,
りますと
your head is wide open for an overhead attack, as you can see.
必ず顔面の防ぐ位置まで伸ばしていただきます。そして全ての技に共通するように肩を締め
Make contact with the middle of your forearm.
締め込むつもりで受けを行います。上段受けは肘を内に締めるように
Now again, as you block with the other hand, you cross your arms for added protection. Look how the cross protects my midsection. I raise, complete the block, and my left hand is ready to punch. Always alternating by crossing. You must be ready to counter. Again, keep the shoulders relaxed and a nice smooth movement. Now snap the block hard. Don't just raise your arm, but snap with power. I will now demonstrate the down block or giranbarai from a horse stance, shikodachi. Again, the circular crossing motion. Have your blocking fist a fist away from your knee, not too far back or forward. This will block strikes to the groin and strikes to the side of your body. Keep your fist tight, elbow slightly bent, making contact with the forearm. Be very smooth. Do not jerk your head or shoulders or blink your eyes. And of utmost importance, do not weaken your stance or shake your legs. Stay solid. Now, the first kata of Okinawan Goju-ryu is Sanchin Ichi, or Sanchin number 1. This kata uses circular techniques and many deep breathing exercises. I will begin by teaching the kata slowly, explaining every important technique, as I will do with all the forms in this tape. Then I will perform the kata at full speed and power. When I'm explaining every movement, it is an excellent time for you to follow with me. Of course, we begin with the proper bow. Then, bring your hands together, left hand over the right. Your hands are open, and you're in the Musubudachi stance. Now, step forward with the right leg in a circular step, Sanchin Dachi stance. Keep your fists tight, elbows tucked into your rib cage. Notice how my fists are at my shoulder's height. Do not bring your arms beyond the perimeter of your body. This is very important, or you will look sloppy. My first technique is a punch and breathing technique. I inhale through the nose, draw the punch back, exhale out the mouth as I punch. The target is the solar plexus. After the strike, my hand comes back immediately to the blocking position. Now I make a circular step with my left foot, and I draw my right hand back, inhaling through the nose and exhaling as I punch out. Again, the target, of course, is the solar plexus. The punch snaps back to the guard. Now, circular step with the right foot. Breathing in, I draw the left hand back, punch out, and back to the guard position. From the stationary stance, I punch with the right. Again, applying the breathing technique, punching with the left again, all coming back to the guard. Right punch again. Left punch. Now, I open both hands, inhaling and exhaling, as I apply an open hand tearing technique. Making a fist, I draw back. Now the hands will come out open. Tear into the opponent, grabbing the midsection skin of the stomach, gripping the skin and tearing. So what you're doing is going into the body and ripping. The technique again. You're breathing while you're performing the technique. It's a tension exercise. Inhaling as the open hands come back, exhaling as you strike out. Now raise the right elbow, put the left arm underneath, make a circular motion, hands open. And you're striking with the open palms to the groin and jaw area. Put the right hand on top of the left, hands open. Step back, formal position, ending where you started, and bow. Now I will perform the kata non-stop as it should be done, full power. Pay attention to the breathing technique that I apply. These are tension movements. As you can see, my punches are not fast. They're with tension. I inhale through the nose, exhale out the mouth, and resist as I punch and bring back. This kata is designed to give you an inner strength. This breathing technique is very demanding, and it's not something you can learn in one day. It takes months to master. I relax as I breathe, and then I push hard, exhaling, tightening the entire body. Relax in between, breathing, tension as you strike out. Inhale through the nose, down to the lower abdomen, pushing out hard from the mouth. Same applies to the open hand. Breathing in, out as you exert the open hand technique. Your stance must be like a rock, unmovable. Push hard with tension as you breathe out. Stepping back, formal position. Sanchin Ichi. Now, Sanchin Ni Kata, or number 2 Sanchin.
続いて、ただいま説明をいたしました三鎮の1の方に続いて、段階を追って修練をする中で、三鎮2の
This kata is very similar to Sanshin number 1.
三鎮2の方の演舞をいたします。
I will perform it full power sideways.
三鎮
Notice how I set in Sanshin stance and lock the groin in. Turn, going back in the same direction. Sanshin number 2 is very similar. It's simply longer. It's twice as long as Sanshin number 1. So it's very demanding kata. Because breathing is such an important part of the Okinawan Goju-ryu system, I will spend some time now and explain the breathing technique thoroughly.
三鎮の方の最も大切な呼吸法について説明いたします。動作の部分的なところだけの説明に届けたいと思います。まず、用意の姿勢から。
Let's begin
両脇
formally
両手を差し込みながら中段受けに入る
as
場合、
performing the
鼻
katas.
から呼吸を十分吸って、そして次に受けを使いながら呼吸を出してまいります。
I will explain
呼吸は
Sanshin
長
ni
くで
or Sanshin number 2. Stepping out, exhaling hard, bringing your elbows to your side in
左手を
Sanshin
引きなが
stance.
ら呼吸を長く吸います。
Now slowly breathe in through the nose.
必
Fill
ず
the
水
lower
圧を
abdomen.
区切りをつけるため、わずかに止めます。そして、
When the
呼
punch
吸
is
を
at your
吐き
rib
ながら
cage,
剣を出します。この
begin
場合、呼
striking
吸は
out
長く。
and exhale hard out your mouth until 90% of the air is out of the
短く
stomach.
吸って短く出します。
Always keep 10% in. Bring the punch back to
前
the
進
blocking
する場合
position.
は呼吸を止めたまま入ります。
Circle step and set.
以上、
Relax.
この繰り返しを行っていくわけであります。
As you start to punch,
さらに、
your breathing begins.
三鎮2の方で回転をする動作については、
I will now demonstrate the turning movement in Sanshin number 2 kata.
そしてゆっくり出す、長く
You have performed your punches.
先ほど説明した通り、続いてゆっくり吸い込みます。吸ったまま呼吸を止めて、脇の下に剣を差し込みま
Now,
す。
as you
そ
turn,
して目を横に向け、体は
Look
正面
before
に
you
向いた
move.
まま、呼吸を止めたまま回転
your
をして
breathing
中段を
has stopped as you're turning.
そして長く呼吸を出しながら呼吸を出す
When punch is completed, then breathing
以上
begins.
この回転の部分の動作を説明いたしまし
So as you turn, there is no breathing. You're more or less holding your breath.
右足を前に出して左拳を引いてゆっくり大きく突き出す。
Now I will demonstrate the open hand techniques.
この動作の呼吸法について説明いたします。この場合、短く吸って短く出します。
The same breathing technique applies to the open hand.
素早く吸って素早く出す。
From the last punch position, before the open hand begins in the kata, exhale on this technique. Now, slowly close your fingers into a fist. Draw back, inhaling through the nose. Exhaling out the mouth. As you strike out, your hands are opening. This must be all time. The breathing and striking together, and opening of the hand. It must flow from one to the other. They should not be separate. As you step back, execute the circular motion. On the circular motion, you are inhaling through the nose. As you have set in Sanshin Dachi, then you would exhale. Inhale. Now, strike out with the palms, exhaling. Push the air hard out of your stomach, striking the groin and jaw area of your opponent. That is some insight into the hard breathing technique of Goju-ryu karate.
以上が三鎮の方について主なる注意点であります。カットしてください。
Now, the third kata, Gakusai Ichi.
続いて沖縄豪州流空手道の普及型。
Gakusai is a most appropriate kata of Okinawan Goju-ryu karate. I will explain each move thoroughly, and again, I would like you to follow with me. This is the only way you can master each important technique, is to participate. Begin like all katas, hands open over the groin area. Step around with the right foot to the side, head block, circle step right foot, straight punch into the nose area of your opponent. Step back, shikodachi, horse stance, and down block. Blocking with your left arm. Step around with your left foot. Execute a strong jodanuki head block. Circle step forward and lunge punch to your opponent's nose. The same movement, shikodachi horse stance, and side block attack to your rib cage. Step forward now and execute chudanuki side block. You're in sanshin stance, step with the right foot, side block right hand again. With the left leg, front snap kick to the opponent's groin. Stepping in left foot, elbow underneath the jaw. Follow with a back knuckle strike to the nose and a down block against a kick to your rib cage. Finish with a straight reverse punch to the solar plexus. To the back, shudo the throat area or jaw of your opponent. Your feet are shoulders width apart, standing straight. Step around to the back with your left foot and left hand, chudanuki side block. Right hand ready to punch. Now the same sequence of techniques, kick the groin, set forward right foot, elbow the jaw, back knuckle or harake in the nose, girambarai down block, and reverse punch solar plexus. Now step straight up and open hand shudo to the throat or jaw of your opponent with your left hand. Now, from this position, I step back with my left leg into Zenku Tsudachi. With both hands in the punching position, I execute a high and low reverse punch.
返るようにして
Step forward left, then
左
back
手を
right.
受け込むように回し込み右甲を上に向けたまま右足を引い
Execute
て
the same
下ろす
technique
手を
again. A high and low punch, this time the right hand on top and left underneath. The left
左
palm
手を
turned up.
開いてそこに軽く乗せる
Open the
この
left
足を持っ
hand,
て
place the right fist
前に
in the
足を
hand,
引きつけ
step
て
forward. And you have
手を
completed
解いて
Geksai Ichi or Geksai number 1. Now, Geksai Ichi or Geksai number 1 kata, full power non-stop in competition form.
撃砕1
Now, Geksai Ichikata, application of techniques, or commonly called bunkai in Japanese. Techniques applied against a real opponent, exactly as they are shown in the kata.
ただいまから
The first series of techniques I will show
型の分解を
is the upper blocks and counters that begin at the start of the kata.
用意
Watch carefully. Any technique in the kata can be used in a real fight.
相手が上段ついてき
I
た
step
と
back, head block.
同じ右手で外側から受けますそして
Now I will move
相手の
forward.
めがけて引き返しますさらに
He blocks my
相手が
strike to the head.
我が中段あるいは下段をめがけて突き込んできますこれを肩では後ろですけども
From the horse stance, do you remember? My down block? This is how it is applied in a real fight situation.
下段払いをします直ちに相手の腹部または顔面めがけて
Now I finish my opponent with a reverse punch to his nose. Now quickly. It is very important that you understand the application of the kata.
蹴りの分解です
Now the second set of techniques,
用意スロ
again, taken directly from Geksai Ichi.
ー50
Remember this
の場合は必
I
ず
side
外側
block
から
by
入って
sidestepping.
そして内に入っていくのが原則としますこのように相手が右で来たら必ず右で受けて外側より受けさらに左の蹴りで
I begin my counter, front kicking his ribs or groin, finishing my opponent.
あくまでも組手分解の場合は基本に従って正しい姿勢
Now the next series of
正しい
techniques.
技の使い方を心がけなければなりません
These movements from the kata can be used as training aids in your self-defense or bunkai classes.
相手の懐内側に入る
I down block his punch.
演技を
Step into Zenkutsu, come under his jaw, breaking his jaw with an empty or elbow. And then I follow immediately with a back fist to the top of his nose. I block his punch to my ribs and finish with a reverse punch to his solar plexus. All done within a split second. Now watch in slow motion. These are some of the very important movements of Geksai Ichi.
続いて相手の突きを払いながら足払いとともに手刀打ちの分解をいたします。この中段突き。相手の中段突きを
Now, the final technique I will show you
軽く いなしながら外側に出て
Slapping down the punch,
すかさず相手の足払いかける
sidestepping
と
around your opponent's force, and with the open shooto,
陣中に目が
breaking his nose or jaw. In slow motion. Watch carefully. Very deadly technique. Now in this series of techniques from Geksai Ichi, I will administer the double punch. Side block, 2 punches, one to the ribs, one to the kidneys. This is the last series of punches in the kata.
大きい場合には上段中段分けることも可能です。
Now, quickly. Now, Geksai ni kata, or Geksai number 2. Geksai ni is very, very similar to Geksai number 1. I will explain each important movement. Begin the kata exactly as the others. As you can see, the kata is the same thus far. The only real change will be towards the end of the kata. Now I'm using open hand circular techniques, front kick, elbow, back knuckle, block, punch. Again, striking out to the jaw or nose from a standing position. I step back in Nikuak Chidachi, using circular palm striking techniques. And to the other side. These are movements I taught you in Sanshin Kata, number 1 and 2. Stepping back, and the kata is completed. Now, Geksai ni, or Geksai number 2 kata, full power. Now, Geksai ni, or Geksai number 2 kata, again, full power, but in slow motion. Now, the techniques of Geksai ni kata applied against an attacker. We will concentrate on the most important techniques.
続いて撃砕2の分解をいたします。撃砕1と同時の部分は省略をいたします。
Now, the assailant begins by striking to the midsection or head
相
area.
手の中段突きを外にかわしながらかけ受けで相手の突きを受けます。かける場合は
I sidestep the punch to my body and block with the open hand shudo.
十分にかけなければいけない。そのまま左の蹴りが入ります。
My counter is a front kick to the groin. In Geksai 1, we did the same technique, but the block was with the closed fist.
続いて相手が上段で来るやつを回し受け身で内に入りながらすかさず両手の小手で相手を突き放します。
Now, I sidestep, block the punch, and counter with the open palm techniques, high and low. This is the last technique of Geksai ni kata. Very destructive and powerful. Now, the fifth form is Saifa. You will notice the katas are getting much more advanced as we progress.
これから演舞をいたしますのは沖縄豪州流空手道の開始型と言います。これは
I will begin by explaining each movement of Saifa.
豪州流の型を修練するために段階的に修正されているものであります。まずサイファーの型であります。撃砕1、2と同様に
Now is your opportunity to follow along as I go slowly.
サイファー
The formal bow. Left hand on right, hands open.
斜め前出しながら前屈立ちのような立ち方になり右腰に
Step out deep with the right foot. Senkutsudachi.
さらに左足を引きつける勢いでもって
Drawing straight up,
横に十分に振り払います。
you're in a Musubadachi stance. Step back, Shikodachi, or horse stance, and back knuckle strike to the opponent's nose. Your left hand is open over your solar plexus. Step forward, left foot, Musubadachi straight up, and now watch as we repeat the same movement. Back knuckle with the left hand, right hand over the solar plexus, protecting your stomach area. Moving forward again. Heels together. Step back with the left, into the horse stance. Same technique, back knuckle strike. Now, hands open, right front kick groin, looking to your left. An attacker comes in from the front, left front kick to the groin area. Step back and deep Zenkutsu with your left foot. Double punches with your palms facing down. Left hand open, right hand in a fist. Strike your left palm. Stepping around with your right foot back. Repeating the movement. Palms facing down, two punches straight out. This time, right hand open, left hand in a fist, and strike your fist into your right open hand. Coming down with a hammer fist with your right hand. You're standing straight up. Punch with an uppercut. Your palm is facing the ceiling. Repeat the movement, this time left hand on top of the head striking, and your right hand uppercut. Step forward, Sanshin stance with the right foot. Left hand punch solar plexus.
相手を突き放す意味での隠し技であります。続いて左足を大きく後ろに振り込みながら手を
Step round into a horse stance with your left foot, then back into a cat stance. Hands open.
回しながら
From the cat stance, push out with both palms. Step back. Saifa kata
呼吸を
completed.
収めるまで呼吸を繰り返しして治ります。
Now, Saifa kata full power. Competition form. Notice the proper timing and rhythm of each movement as it is done at full speed and power. Now, Saifa kata again full power, but repeated in slow motion. This gives you the opportunity to see the penetrating power of Master Kai. Just one powerful technique by Master Kai could easily kill or maim his opponent. But Master Kai is a true gentleman of Bushido, and his art is only used if his life is in danger. As Master Kai has always said, the most important part of being a karate man is being a gentleman. Now, important techniques of Saifa kata. Your katas are loaded with hundreds of techniques that can be used in a self-defense situation. Now, the first defensive Saifa technique shown is against a wrist hold. As he grabs with both hands, I will easily break free. I step in, heels together, grabbing my fist and pulling away from his grip. Step back, block his punch, and break his nose with the back knuckle strike. Now quickly. Step, pull, block, break the nose. Take a look at it from the other side. Grab your fist, break out, block, and counter. Now, the second series of Saifa techniques. Your opponent attacks with a punch to the midsection. I block, knee to the groin, and kick to the stomach, followed with a double punch. From there, I strike the temple. Now watch carefully. On this series, the attacker punches to the midsection again. I block the punch down, and with the open palms, drive him away, crushing the chest and lower abdomen. At full speed and slow motion. The same technique applied, but this time hitting under the jaw. A slight variation. Either target will stop your opponent. You see? I come deep under the jaw with my open palm, breaking his jaw and sending him to the ground. In slow motion, notice how I push forward. As I lean, he falls back. Now, Sein-chin kata, the very traditional Okinawan Goju-ryu kata. We consider Sein-chin a very advanced kata. I will explain each important movement. The formal beginning, left hand open over the right hand. Step out with the right foot 45 degrees into Sheikodachi stance, the very deep horse stance. Hands open, breathing, exhaling as you execute the hand techniques. Right hand block, left hand open. Pull the right hand in, push the fingertips of the left hand out. Now repeat to the other side. Exhale on the punching, block, pull, stabbing with the fingertips. And a third time, stepping out with the right foot, breathing in when the hands are open, exhaling on the fist strikes, block right hand, pull, left hand straight fingers out. Right fist into left palm. Step back, drive inward, and punch. Stepping back with the right foot into Sanshin stance, right elbow to your attacker's jaw. Hit your palm of the left hand. Step out 45 degrees, block, horse stance, down block, step back, horse stance, down block. Repeat to the other side. Side block, horse stance, down block, horse stance, down block. Step back, in a horse stance, open hands, blocking. Above the forehead and over the lead leg. Step forward, Sanshin. Hammer fist strike. Follow with the back knuckle to the nose. Bring your right foot around. Circle step into Sanshin. Down block right hand, side block left hand. Step in with the right, uppercut the jaw. Snap his nose and down block a kick to your rib cage. Step back, down block. Step over with the right into a cat stance, elbow forward, elbow back. Step back, right, cat stance, double elbow again. Step around, left foot. You are executing a double block, a down block and a side block. Step forward, horse stance, uppercut, break the nose and down block. Step back, down block. Step forward in a cat stance, double elbow strikes. Step back, double elbow strikes. Step forward, break the nose. You're striking with the back knuckle. Your left hand is open, covering your solar plexus. Step back with the right foot. Break down with the elbows. Keep your fingertips straight. And formal ending of the kata as you step back. Now, Seiun-chin kata, full power. It is done at the speed of competition form. You are inhaling as your open hands come up and exhaling hard as the blocks go down. Now, Seiun-chin kata, full power, in slow motion. Now, important techniques of Seiyunshin kata applied against an attacker. I begin with the horse stance, open hand block, and counter. Now quickly. This is the first movement in the kata. I block, open hand. Do you remember this technique? I grab. Pull the man off balance, counter to his rib cage with a punch. Now the second sequence. The attacker comes in with a reverse punch to my midsection. I use the reinforced side block. You use a reinforced block when your opponent is very strong. I grab his wrist, step in between his legs. From a deep horse stance, strike his groin. Quickly. Now the third series of techniques. My opponent comes in with an attack to the head. As he punches, I block with an open hand, catching his wrist, catching his kicking leg, and slamming him to the ground on his back. Two blocks turned into a hip throw. Now, the opponent grabs you from behind. This is a very common assault in a street situation. Without panicking, I step into a cat stance, bringing my arms together, keeping my hands in a fist. I drive my elbow back into his solar plexus, and with the front elbow, break his grip. The hip movement is very important. The hip strikes into his groin, stunning him and driving him back so you can strike with the elbow. It must all be done very smoothly and together. Watch again. Hip, elbow. Shishushin, kata explained. Follow along as I explain each movement of the 7th kata in the Okinawan Goju-ryu system. I step out with the right foot in sanshin, hands open, elbows to the sides, strike with the left. Drawing back with the right hand, fingertip strike. Step forward with the right foot, striking with the left hand. Keeping the hands open. Now, double-fisted down block. Step Zenkutsudachi. Blocking. And Shudo block. Stepping in Zenkuts. Open hand technique. Blocking across with the left hand. Step back, heels together. Empi, or elbow strike. Turn around, right foot back. Zenkutsudachi. Step to the side, left foot forward. Many open hand techniques, as you can see. Left foot sanchin, front kick right, elbow up. Circular hand blocks, kick left foot, follow with the elbow strike. Nico Achidachi cat stance, keeping the hands open. Now double elbow, open hand block, block, left hand shudo, strike. Heels together, elbow strike, step around, open hand blocking, high and low, step back, kata completed. Now, Shishuchini, kata, full power.
지소준
Now, the applications of number 7. You must apply the techniques of your katas so you can fully appreciate their devastating power and beauty. We begin with a strike to my solar plexus. Watch how I defend. I step away from the power, blocking and grabbing, and right from the kata, I apply pressure to his elbow, bringing him to the ground. Go back and look at the kata to see where this movement is exactly. Very devastating. In slow motion. Block, strike the elbow. In a real fight, his arm would be broken. Now, number 8, Sanseru, Kata Explained. This is a most beautiful Okinawan Goju-ryu form. It is sure to bring you many wins in competition. Again, I will explain the movements, so please follow. Of course, you may not master them in one day, but train with the video at least 2 hours daily, and you will see great results in no time. Begin with the formal bow. As always, this is very important to show good etiquette and manners. Stepping out in sanchin stance, double circular block. Draw the left hand back, punch, and immediately pull back to the guard position. Step left foot, sanchin, punch right hand, twist punch, pull back. And a third time. Stepping right, punch left. Open hand with the right. Step back, block open hand left, double open hand down block. Kick the groin, kick the groin. Elbow the jaw, punch solar plexus. Strike into the knee with the blade of the foot, step around. Kick into the groin area, elbow up, straight punch. knee kick, Sanshin stance, front kick, elbow, punch. Break the knee again with a short blade kick, kick groin, elbow up, straight punch, stepping around into a horse stance, double punch down, double open hand down. Double punches, turn around, side block, side block. Double punches again. Stepping back into a horse stance, bent wrist block, step back, Sansaru completed. Now, Sansaru number 8, kata, full power. This will also be repeated in slow motion. Master Kai will now demonstrate the bunkai, or application of Sansaru techniques against an attacker.
続いて三成流の肩の分解の一部を説明いたします。
My opponent will come at me with a reverse punch or lunging punch to my solar plexus.
相手が上
My initial movement is to sidestep his attack, to get out of the force of the assault. I go down, grabbing behind his leg and applying pressure to his knee. Remember, step slightly to the left side. This is a very deceptive technique. You can either break his leg or just hold him. Whenever he struggles, apply pressure to the leg, as shown. Now, with the second series of techniques, the assault is again a punching technique. As he strikes to my midsection, I sidestep, elbow his jaw, punch, and with the blade of my foot, break his kneecap. You must kick directly on the front of the knee. Now, the art of Tan Bojitsu, the 12-inch baton fighting techniques. This is a very deceptive and effective weapon, as you will see. You will need a 12-inch dole. It is a rounded piece of wood which is easy to conceal. This makes it a most effective fighting weapon. It should be from your elbow to the top of your hand in length, which is approximately 12 inches. I think you will be quite amazed at the versatility of this weapon. Remember, if you are in a situation where a weapon is laying around, such as a club or knife, you can grab it and fight effectively. Karate is not always hands and feet. Grab whatever is necessary to save your life. Now we will begin. The formal bow to show respect and etiquette. The first technique I will show you is against a wrist hold. Stun your opponent by striking to his eyes with the open fingertips. Bring the baton around. Grab it with your other hand. Now apply pressure down as you step back in a horse stance. Your opponent is rendered helpless in this situation. Again, snap the eyes to stun your opponent. Lock his wrist. Pull the stick in towards you. These are excellent techniques for teaching in your classes. Now, in this technique, your opponent has grabbed you with both hands. His grip will be much stronger at this point. Watch how I break out. Applying karate kick to the groin, I follow by coming over and grabbing the end as before. This time I pull him straight down to the ground. Remember to step back to get in a deep stance for proper leverage and strength. Snap the groin. This is very, very painful.
続いて袖取り。
Now he has grabbed my collar or shoulder.
袖を握ってきます。すかさず人で顔面に
Again, snapping to the eyes,
そのまま相手の
temporarily blinding your opponent.
まっすぐに棒を立てます。
I lock his wrist to my shoulder area.
固めてしまいます。
The deep step back is of the utmost importance to send your opponent off balance so he cannot kick or punch you.
体の開きと棒の当て引きすべてタイミングが一つになるように心がけて十分に腰を落とし相手の動きに乗っていくように心がけてください。
Quickly.
続いて肩取り。
Now, a very similar technique, and you'll notice throughout that there are many variations of the baton. Straight punch to the solar plexus. Again, stunning and weakening your man. Raise the stick up, breaking his grip. Follow with a strike to his rib cage. Punch. Bring the stick underneath, drive hard, break his grip. It's also a strike to his wrist. And finish by breaking the rib cage. Now, quickly, as if being assaulted.
続いて片手胸取りです。相手が右手で我が胸を取ります。
Now he grabs my front lapel. This technique involves grabbing his wrist, using the blunt end to punch the rib cage. Twist his wrist off your lapel and apply the baton to his elbow, exerting great pressure. So you are applying it to two joints, the wrist and elbow. Punch, grab, and as you can see, with his face in the ground, he is helpless. Now, defending against a double lapel hold, use the blunt end and reach to strike into the solar plexus. Bring the baton around and drive straight down on his arms. Step back as you pull. He is secured to your chest. Follow, striking straight across his nose. Remember to hold each end of the baton. The last strike would break his nose easily. Now, as my opponent comes in with a cross chokehold, I immediately drop my chin to protect my Adam's apple and trachea. This cuts off his choking technique. Again, punching into his solar plexus with the blunt end. Coming around. At this point, his arms will work against him. I pull back and down. Very painful technique to the opponent. Remember to drop the chin. By doing so, you will cut off his choking technique.
顎を十分に落として締めをまずすることが最も大事なことです。
Now come across underneath
交差で締めた場合に手
and
と手
apply
の間
pressure.
隔を十分締めて空間のないようにしっかり左右に締めてください。
Quickly.
次は後ろより相手が肩を取りに行く。
Now, as the attack comes in from the rear, my defense will be to turn away and counter. With the blunt end, I break the rib cage, come around with the baton on his elbow, and pull in and down. Twist him around, driving your knee behind his elbow and shoulder. Turn away from the opponent. Strike with the blunt end. It's very important to come around on top and brace him into your arm. As you can see, spin him to the ground. With your inside knee, lean heavily on his shoulder and elbow, and pull inward with the baton. Now quickly. Now I will show you how to apply a chokehold. Now, defending against a punch to the face, block with the baton, locking the wrist to your forearm. Step back, twist your opponent to the ground with your knee into his elbow. Pull in hard with the baton as you push your knee outward. Watch it again, please. This can be used against an overhead knife attack, club, or punch. I will now show you a Tambo Jitsu choking technique. You must maneuver yourself to get around to the opponent's back. As he punches, I sidestep, come to the back, and apply the choke directly under the chin. Now the technique is to use your head for leverage. Watch again. Sidestep. Position the baton and pull his throat into the back of your head. Quickly. Now, for this technique, I will show you how to sidestep and use the baton to strike your opponent's wrist. As the punch comes, I step out, come hard on the wrist with the baton. Come underneath the arm, turn it into an arm lock. Remember, his wrist is already broken. Apply pressure to his elbow. He is helpless. Break the wrist. Follow. With the other hand, grab the end of the baton. Lock his arm to the side of your body. Push him straight to the ground. Now, blocking against a kicking technique. Again, your initial movement will be a strike and then a leg lock. Secure the ankle and push down hard. Watch carefully. Strike the side of the foot, catch underneath, push. That concludes Tanbo Jitsu. Master Kai will now give a outstanding demonstration in the proper breathing technique and internal power of Okinawan Goju-ryu karate. This demonstration took place in June of 1985 on his American tour. Watch carefully.
So you understand he tried to against that power, but